the biggest eagle in the UK, Europe and Scandinavia. She's got an 8-foot wingspan and is more like a dragon than an eagle when she takes off. And this is the eagle that you find up here in the Highlands. Thousands of years ago, they were living on the River Thames near London, where I'm originally from. But as time went on, white-tailed sea eagles were persecuted. And eventually, by 1918, watch your heads, by 1918, the last white-tailed sea eagle was shot on an island off the coast of Scotland, and they were made extinct in the UK. Now, luckily for white-tailed sea eagles, it wasn't all doom and gloom, because they are a conservation success story in Scotland. In the 70s and the 80s, this eagle was reintroduced back into the wild. They brought eagles over from places like Norway and Scandinavia, and then basically they released them onto the west coast of Scotland, and on the west coast of Scotland they did really well. Now there's around 400 individual white-tailed sea eagles living across Scotland, so they are coming back in number, and they are, like I say, a bit of a conservation success story. Now, they are very similar to the bald eagle. You guys get the bald eagle in America, right? And she is like the European version of a bald eagle. She is in the fish eagle family, just like a bald eagle. They're built mainly for fishing. She's got the same shape and she's got a white tail, but she doesn't actually get the white head like a bald eagle does, okay? So really, they're very, very similar. When they're immature and before they're old enough to breed, you are talking about a bird that really, unless you're a bird expert, would be very hard to tell the difference between them. Because both bald eagles and white-tailed sea eagles take a good 5 years to mature before they're old enough to breed. So when they're first fully grown, they're brown all over and they don't have any white on their head or tail at all. Both of them transform from their juvenile plumage to their adult plumage, and that's when they get white on them, basically. So she's about 5 years old and her transformation is nearly complete. You can see her tail is pretty much white. There's a few brown flecks on it, but she is pretty much there now when it comes to her maturity. You gonna sit next to everybody? Good girl. So mainly a fish eagle, but look, there's a suicidal pigeon. Do you see that? It's a good job it's an eagle out here and not a peregrine. She's a bit too big to catch a pigeon, but the peregrine would definitely eat that for dinner. Now, come on, you have to fly. So, yeah, so she's mainly a fish eagle, but nobody told them that, so they're happy to eat anything. She will eat geese, swans, ducks, seabirds. They scavenge like a vulture. If she was to see a nice big dead deer out in the countryside, she'd be just as happy to eat that as a live fish, basically. But really, they're adapted for fishing. So she's got massive round fishing hook shaped talons to hook right into the side of the fish. And then on the bottom of her feet, she's even got these special grip pads that are built to lock into the skin of the fish called spitchules, and it helps them carry the slimy fish out of the water. Now what I'm going to try and do in a minute is I'm going to try and show you how she would snatch, some floating pieces of food off of my vast Scottish lock out there in the arena, okay? So I need to work out the best position. I think with the wind, it's a tiny wind direction, but on that perch over there is the best place I could go to. So what we'll do, we'll try and distract her over to the back. I need to try and give myself enough time to get to the pond. So we'll put a couple of pieces of food out. We'll go one over there. Go on, off you go. And then we're gonna put one up there. Stiorra. She's now seen that. You guys, once she's in position, I'm gonna put some food on the lock. Okay, you ready? 1, 2, 3, go. I'm gonna have to run. Food goes out. In she comes and wallop. There you go. Give her a little clap. That was perfect. Good girl. Now, it was a bit short and sweet because she doesn't give me any time to get to the pond, but what it showed you is that she didn't actually go into the water. she only got her feet and her toes wet, okay? These eagles, they're not built to go swimming around in water. If she was way out to sea and she actually went in the water, she could drown because without wind, she wouldn't be able to get back out of the water again. So she only wants to get her feet and her toes wet, and fish eagles snatch fish off the surface, whereas ospreys, which are another fishing bird of prey, but they're not in the fish eagle family, they can submerge themselves and then fly back out again, but fish eagles can't. They snatch off the surface. Yeah, she would rip the fish up and she would eat all of the scales, the bones, all of it.